Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sista Friends podcast. I'm Lo, and my co-host Sam and Jam are here with you all today. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hola, hola, hola.
What a week. What a week. We're still here together. Excited to record another episode, of course. And news this week was the dogs flying to Canada, but we'll move right along.
Yo, there was really a lot of news this week. That was just
really
some
was.
crazy shit.
It really was. So I think that one was the highlight for me this week. Like, go on, puppy, live your best life. But last episode we touched a little bit on body image, and just to follow through, carry on along that line, let's talk about today self-esteem. And there's healthy self-esteem and there's poor self-esteem, and what barriers having poor self-esteem leads to. And I just wanted to start off in thinking about this. I found something online, the University of Texas, Austin. They define self-esteem, and just give me a minute, let me quickly read it for you. What they said about self-esteem and what it is, poor versus healthy, just a quick definition. And self-esteem is something more fundamental than the normal ups and downs associated with situational changes. For people with good self-esteem, normal ups and downs may lead to temporary fluctuations in how they feel about themselves, but only to a limited extent. In contrast, people with poor self-esteem, these ups and downs drastically impact the way they see themselves. So someone with positive or healthy self-esteem, they can recognize that they're worthy, they're worthwhile. Even with bad news, they may have their ups and downs. But for someone with a poor self-esteem, they need positive external experiences to counteract these negative feelings. And even when they do get a good feeling, it's usually temporary. So that's the definition to compare, poor self-esteem with healthy self-esteem. So ladies, let's talk about self-esteem and how does it impact humans, us, adults, especially us at that fragile stage where we're not old, we're not young, we're just right there. But still, it's not like teenagers where, you're thinking more, it's just your teenagers, hormones and stuff. At this age, it's more like your self-esteem is now making a bigger impact on family, friends, your career. So let's talk a little bit about that.
That is deep.
I know. But we're grown.
This is gonna touch some personal
scars,
I will say I will be transparent because that was my promise with this this podcast. And I will say that my self-esteem issues have changed throughout life as I've matured. And it's no longer so much about the tangible and the physical, because I feel like I have conquered the worst part of that for myself. But it's more about the way you should be in life, or the things you should have achieved, right? So the tangible, right? And whereas everybody's circumstance and everybody's situation and experiences are different, at some point I began grappling with am I enough for this stage of life?
Right. And a lot of it is thinking, right?
A lot of it is thinking. And I think the thing with self-esteem is sometimes a lot of it is impacted by outside forces, right? So outside individuals, what others think. And I think, essentially, like we spoke about in our last episode, that's that's a big chunk of the problem, right? But there's also the norms, right? And it's okay. The norms are you should have achieved this by this age, right?
Right.
And we, for Lo and I, we grew up in one set of norms, and we have migrated into countries with another set of norms, and there's that conflict as well. And it's like your self-esteem kind of says to you, which set of norms should I adapt to? Am I good enough for this one? Am I good enough for this one? Am I good enough for any of them? I don't know if that makes sense, or if any of you understand,
absolutely.
have the same type of feeling.
Yeah.
Just mentioning that the comparing yourself to others, because being here, being divorced, it's okay. No one, it's not expected, I should say, but it's accepted. While the culture we're coming from, oh, you're divorced. It's like, oh, you're getting a divorce. So just that alone already, it's a challenging. It's a big challenge, just conforming, I could say, or transitioning from one set of norms to another. So I agree with that. Definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And I think that's such a good point, Lo, because it's the same thing with being a single mother. Right? And you can say, okay, it's like, really? You're a single parent? Like, where did you mess this up? And it makes you stop and think, where did you mess this up? What did you do wrong along the way? Shit, am I really a good parent because I'm a single parent and I'm doing it alone? You start to think all of these things. Jam, you look perplexed and puzzled, but
but because I don't understand how, if you're a single parent, but you came out of a situation and you made a decision for you and your child. So someone outside looking in cannot make any assumption on your situation because they don't know the whole story. So that's why I say my self-esteem, I did a lot of work on it, because as you say, it's based on what people think of you. And I'm saying these people that are outside looking in, they're not contributing to you holistically or in any way. So why should their opinion of you matter?
Right.
It shouldn't have any effect on you, I think.
Right. And I've worked and I've gotten to that point where it doesn't, but the reality of it is there was a point where those opinions did matter. And we're only human, right? Yeah, and we're only human, and if it didn't matter, at least it made you stop and question where you are at.
And that's the difference.
And if you did made the right choices.
When you have a healthy self-esteem to a point, you can do that. You can refute those thoughts. You can channel those thoughts and turn them around. It's when you have poor self-esteem that you can't. And the impact that has on people on a whole is so greater than I knew initially. And just doing reading and talking to people, just how it affects people, it cripples them. It cripples them into taking that step forward, coming outside of their comfort zone. And
I agree.
It's not fair. And for someone like me, where I don't suffer from that issue. I have other issues. We all have issues independently, but I don't suffer from the poor self-esteem. So for me, it hurts seeing someone suffer from that, where people have told me, oh, because of my self-esteem, which ties into lack of self-confidence, I don't go after things at work. I don't try to go to the next level. I see others who probably aren't as knowledgeable go and get a job, and I'm like, oh, they applied, they're like, they applied for that and get it, but I know 3 times what they know, but that lack of confidence holds them back. And that for me, it hurts. I'm like, really? But how do you fix that? I think that's where I'm at. How do you fix that? Not being able to channel that, oh, I got this, I can do it.
That's deep. That's a common one, and that's one that I have had in my life as well, right? And I was saying this to you earlier today too, Lo, that you and I both live in societies where it's there's a lot of racial issues in the workplace, right? So that alone pulls away at our self-confidence professionally, right?
Yes.
Because it's this idea that there's typically, if a Black person is going to have a seat at the table, it's one Black person.
Yes.
So it's
The token
only
Black
Black
person.
person.
I've been the token before.
Right. So have I. So it's the token Black person, or the token immigrant, or the token woman, right?
So one stone, three birds, right?
Exactly. And then that's a whole.
I call it the three. That's a different topic, right? But that call it the three strikes.
That's a whole other episode. I could speak forever about that. But it makes, that is enough to wear on you professionally, on your self-confidence in a professional setting, right? It really is, and it takes a toll. And in Jan's situation in the society in the Caribbean, there's other isms that you have to fight against that wears away at your self-confidence in a professional setting. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Go ahead, Jan.
In the Caribbean, there's a big emphasis on paper, your qualifications, and not really experience. So you may have somebody who say has a first degree or a master's coming in and know nothing, but because they have a degree, they get hired over someone who, say, doesn't have the degree but has the experience and knows the role and can perform the role sufficiently and goes above and beyond and does it. They're quite capable of handling the role, but yet the person with the paper gets it over the one without.
Yeah. And then what? So tell me, Jan, what does that feel like for you?
So it makes you feel less than, because you don't feel like you deserve to be promoted, or you feel like, oh no, I should have done the degree, I should have pursued a higher level of education. But it is what it is.
Well, so that's more like insecurity and self-doubt. Do you think that you talk yourself out of it before trying, because you're saying, well, that person is gonna get it, which also ties into the difference between men and women?
No, because I try.
Okay, experience then. Okay.
Yeah, I do try. Yes. So it's a fact. I've proven it. So it's and I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, they pick you and you're an airhead, and I'm here and I know the shit.
And you could run.
I can do this shit. I can do it with my eyes closed.
Right.
And I still have to turn around and do it. But the person with the qualifications just sits there.
Right. That's unfortunate. That's
very
so unfortunate.
Frustrating.
So how do we break this? Right? So that's the big question. Like,
there's so many studies, so many research, so many counseling. But I think to break some of this is self-care. And the self-care meaning you have to start feeling good about yourself. And a lot of us have transitioned from being an individual to being our work or what our job is. Someone asks, who are you? And the first thing you talk about is what you do for your career. And
and that's not who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so that self-care, that self-love, that trying to channel your thoughts. So as soon as that negative thought come in, like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, just turn it around. It's just turning it around to say, you know what? I am enough. I can do this. And they emphasize, as we all know, exercise, having a hobby. When you leave work, have time for you. Because a lot of it, I think what most of it comes from with self-esteem issue, other than background, history, family, a lot of it ties into career. And
Agreed.
job hunting, as Jam just spoke about, that can erode your self-confidence.
Yeah.
Even when we talk about,
Big
like how we
time.
spoke about where you are for your age, a lot of that falls back upon your professional life, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
It's supposed to be in a certain position now.
Yeah, I'm
At your job.
gonna
It's
share
supposed to be
my
like it-
trick.
Okay.
Sorry, Jan. I want to share my trick
problem.
with you for self-esteem. I am my biggest hype man.
Yes, build up yourself.
Right?
Build up yourself.
Right. But I will end up in the mirror screaming to myself, yeah, this, you know what I mean? Just really hyping myself and pumping myself up, right?
Yes.
That's one trick. And I get a little carried away with it, but do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
That's
Whatever you have to do, you have to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right? And my other trick is music, right? And it's like that music that really pumps you up, right? That music, that I'm the shit music, you know, nobody can test me music. That, you know, just you find a couple of tracks that when you play them, it's just like, you know, like you walk
It's
into
like-
the
it's
prison
like,
boxing ring. Like
that's
you walk into
remind,
the boxing ring.
You remind me of when Issa, is that her name for now? Issa Rae on Insecure,
Issa
when
Rae,
she
yeah.
stands in front of the mirror and she's talking to herself and she says,
Exactly.
shit. Yeah. Like that.
Exactly,
just like
Jan.
that.
Exactly. Every time I have a certain few songs, and we'll probably post them I could post them on our social media to share them with everybody. But I have a few songs that when I play them songs, nobody can chat to me.
Take over the world,
Understand?
Sam.
Nobody
Yeah.
can chat to me. Right?
That's me. Yep.
Before COVID, when we were walking in, when I would park in the parking garage, when we're in the office, I will put in my headphones as soon as I come out of the car, turn on the phone, play the song, and I play my hype music all the way into the office. To the point where people would be telling me hello and everything, and I don't hear them because that shit is playing so loud in my ears. I was hyping myself up, man. I tell you, I would dominate. Those are the days I would dominate.
Right.
Those are the days I would dominate.
You have to build a vibes in the parking lot. You have to build a vibe.
You have to build a vibe for yourself.
Yes.
You have to build a vibe for yourself.
Especially on a Wednesday. Yes, God.
Because nobody's going to do it for you. What happens on a Wednesday?
Nobody's going to do it.
It's just a hard day. Wednesday for me is the hard day. You're not near the, it's at midweek. Lord of mercy, you just reach Wednesday. You need it. And I play that Rihanna Kanye song. Let me tell you. 3 more days till Friday.
We have to post our hype music on. But let me tell you,
I will. I'll post it.
We have to post it on our page. But I tell you, when I play that music, man,
but
it's
you
a
know
whole
what?
next level, Sam.
But you know that boldness, though. Now that you mentioned that, not playing devil's advocate or anything, but can we have too much? Can you have too much self-confidence? Can you think you're too much? Because I've seen those where you have that person and I'm going to mention workplace since we've been on that person who is so arrogant in the workplace because they know it, but really they don't. Does that person have a healthy self-esteem, or is there just a little bit too much going on?
Well, I guess it would be too much if you can't back it up. If you can't back it up, well, no. But if you can, why not?
Right?
I wouldn't think it's too
much.
But if you're arrogant and you're if you can't, you don't have no substance behind,
right?
Step one side.
But how do you
difference between arrogance and confidence, though?
Yeah, there is. But that person thinks they're confident. Right? That person.
I think arrogance is when you would step on other people or disrespect other people.
Right.
In your on your journey. But I think confidence would more like you know who you are and you handle yourself accordingly without having to put down other people.
Right. And the reason I brought it up is because a part of helping yourself to get over this poor self-esteem is to kind of fake it until you make it. But then when does faking it cross that line? where you're just faking it
into
permanently.
arrogance.
Yeah, like, okay, you're just faking it permanently. It's not faking it till you make it. Your entire life is fake. Where, you know, just because you have that master's, you still, but it's true, right? Just because you have that degree and you got that promotion or you got that job, you still don't know how to do the job. You're not even trying to learn how to do the job. Right?
Listen, a CEO once told me 95% of them are faking it.
Right. True.
95% of them are faking it.
Well, 95% of CEOs.
They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, C-suite people. C-suite people
C-suite
are faking it. But I'm going to say this, and I don't want me to put us down a rabbit hole now with all of this stuff, but if you continue to fake it till you make it and you're doing it well, isn't that confidence?
It is.
Don't you have to have a great amount of confidence to be?
And that's why it's a thin line.
Blue pill or red pill? Oh my God. No, sir.
Exactly.
I can't tell reality from the no, man.
Well, I don't know. I have guy friends, right? And this is the little thing, you know, men and women, when it comes to self-esteem, there's differences, right? And I have.
And if it's the
friends.
hormones. No, because men just seem to, you know, they go after what they want and nothing stops them, even though they're not qualified, they still go after it.
The confidence.
But a lot of them are faking it till they make it too. There's a lot of men out there who are faking it till they make it. But I'm telling you, that should take confidence.
But the woman wouldn't even try fake it. The woman would say, "Oh no, I can't."
Because that's where we have the unhealthy self-esteem.
And there's a whole historical and societal issue with that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That caused that.
Right.
But I have guy friends who will say to me, Sam, you know, I was dating a girl and she said I'm too arrogant. I said, you're not arrogant, you're confident. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that there's this big difference between arrogance and confidence.
Yeah.
If a man is confident, which I think is the most attractive quality in a man, to be honest with you, is their confidence. But if a man is confident, I think that, you know, it exudes when he walks into the room, you see it, you know, and a lot of women will say, oh, I'm cocky. I'm too cocky. You know what I mean? But I think you have to get to know the person to really know to see if it is arrogance or confidence. And I tell, I'll be honest with my friends, if they were arrogant, I say you're an arrogant prick. But I really think that most of them are just confident men, and a lot of women can't seem to make that definition.
And
distinction.
And I think what it is for me, I think it's a thin line. It's a thin line. I know you think it's a big difference. For me, there is a difference. There's a definite difference between being arrogant and being confident, but it's a thin line before they cross over between being arrogant and confident, because quite a few of them have crossed over without realizing.
Well, I think they can cross over. I think the difference is bigger than you think. And you think it's small, but I do
Lord of mercy. But the interesting thing, no story time. Another way we're gonna move on. How we can help our listeners, our fellow friends and loved one. How we can help them is the person has to focus on how much progress you've made over the years, where you started off there and now you're here, so you can go further. Where, Sam, I know when you started off, you mentioned being a single mom and you think, am I a good mom? Am I a good parent? But look at the progress.
Yeah.
You know, look
business owner.
Right? Look at your A student. Right?
All right.
Right? So
thank you.
Focus on those things, like, you know what? Of course I'm a damn good parent. Right?
Boss.
Right? Yeah. Right? No DCF on your steps. Mama. No.
That's right.
Right? So it's looking at those positives and say, you know what? I've gotten this far. I can go a lot farther. And those.
Okay,
those,
so do you think that? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was thinking if the self-esteem issue, do you think it's a nature versus nurture thing? Like from your smaller, you're told, oh, you can do anything, you're beautiful, you're smart, versus not hearing those things growing up. Does it start from there?
I'm going to pick nature. And yes, because for me, my mother was my cheerleader. My mother, I was the first one to say that Bible verse at church. Like, no, you go read it. Like, oh, you go say that recitation. You're that one. You can remember that poem. Go say it. It was, yeah, you're a good reader. Go. And so from that point of view, it was like, oh, okay, I can do it. But it wasn't a choice like if you can or do you want to. It's like, go do it. So I'm going to say yes. Some of it stems from hearing those
nurture.
things, right? Hearing it's repeated in words and actions. But it worked for me. I think that's a part of it why I think I have that, good, healthy self-esteem. Is it in every case? Probably not, because I do know of the opposite where people do get that. They do hear, the nurturing words, and they don't exude that confidence.
Oh, wow. I think maybe if I heard it more, I would be further along than I am now, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's both, but I think the nurture factor is strong. I think the nurture factor is stronger.
Yeah.
Just like Jam
definitely.
just said. I think and that's why, and kind of pivoting back to what Loni just said about how can we help people, I cannot enforce enough that we have to do it for ourselves. You have to hype yourself up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to hype yourself up. You hype yourself. Yeah. So look at your progress, rechannel those thoughts. Another thing we can do is don't focus on the negative so much.
Yeah.
Focus on the positives. Just say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I applied for that job. I didn't get it. But you know what? Maybe that director needs an assistant. Let me create that. They don't even know the director needs an assistant. Let me show them why the director needs an assistant. And that assistant is going to be me. So it's like rechanneling those thoughts and
looking for
learn. And I know this, and I'm not trying to like go deeper, but stop aiming for perfection. We're humans. We're not perfect. And we spoke about this last episode. I know we did. So I'm not going back there, but a lot of us think things have to be perfect. And that's why we're so hard on ourselves.
That's interesting. Yeah, because as you say, you're supposed to be at a certain point in your life with accomplish certain things by now. But
look at the progress
based on whose priorities though. Right. You have to know what's okay for you, not what society says. What's okay for you? What are you comfortable with?
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. Agreed.
And maybe you need new friends and new people around you.
True.
If the people around you are talking like that. Just saying. Maybe
true.
you need some friends like
one should look at what one's friends. Looking closely.
What about your friends?
Your circle.
Will they be
Go on, Jam.
I love TLC. Miss T-Buzz.
Aww.
Left eye. After they cry.
Okay, tear.
Don't cry, Jam.
Another thing is self-worth. Oh Lord, yeah. Yeah, self-worth, and ties right back into self-confidence, not arrogance, but your self-worth. You are worthy. You are worthy. You're beautiful. reaffirmations. It sounds corny, like a lot of people are going to roll their eyes, because before I knew anything about this, some of these talks, when you read the Harvard Business Review's articles and all these articles, because I have to do a lot of training, because when you're in charge of people nowadays, you have to do these trainings to make sure that your approach is appropriate,
Emotional intelligence.
Exactly. And I used to be like, are you serious right now? Why can't I just say you're wrong, you're wrong? But now I know, because I'm an
No.
You
have to talk to people like they're people.
Yes, you have to. And you have to ensure that you're talking in the language that they understand. So some people like to be applauded in a public setting, say good job at the staff meeting, while some people just want to be told quietly in a corner, and you have to respect everyone's wishes. So
just send me an email.
Just pay me.
That's me.
Just pay me.
Right?
Give me a bonus.
That naga happen over here.
Keep your praise.
Naga happen.
Give me a bonus. Keep your
Can
praise.
we put in that guy that naga happen? But
not a t-shirt. Naga happen. Kingston tees.
Got you.
We should wear
Naga
that
happen.
t-shirt. That naga.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? Oh my God, I love it.
I got you, Lo.
That naga. Sorry, that was so funny.
Oh
God.
boy.
God,
Well, there's no self-confidence lacking in this episode, is there?
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen. But
It's worth manifestations.
Yeah,
Affirmation.
manifestation.
Affirmation.
Yeah.
You know what's so
That's
cute
true.
nowadays? These videos that you see on Instagram all the time with the dads or the little kids looking in the mirror. I am beautiful. I am strong. Oh, I love those.
those are
Yeah.
so cute. They are cute. You know what?
Well, it seemed to work.
They do.
It seemed to work.
And
so
as you say,
maybe we
start
should
at a
practice
young
them.
age.
Yeah.
Like Kalia looks in the
Nurture.
mirror and says, beautiful,
Nice.
But hers is borderline
Nice.
arrogant though. Mm.
Behave yourself. No. Behave yourself. No.
She's too.
And arrogant. She
No.
gosh.
No,
she
she's not.
says cute. Cute.
That's right.
That's
That's right,
girl.
baby girl. That's right.
right.
Yes, you are.
I'm her hype man though. I'm her hype. Oh, yes, you are, baby. Oh, show it.
Next word she needs to learn is fabulous.
On it. We got the beautiful. But for real though, we should always I know people in my life that I think are being held back. And if you know someone in your lives, or listeners out there, talk to them, help them. Do the reaffirmations as Jam and Sam just said. Let's help each other to get to the next level. Everyone deserves to get to that next level, right?
Agreed.
Indeed.
Agreed.
Right.
And that's why you need a friend. If you can't hype yourself up, sometimes you need your friends to
have your
start
friends.
turning the key for you.
Right. Yep. Get out. Change your WhatsApp group, friends. Time for a change if they're not your hype person, right?
Change your circle.
Change
your circle of friends.
The BBC and Sister Friends is currently not taking openings.
No new friends. But I'm wrapping up. I promise I'm wrapping up. We have to challenge ourselves. We should become aware of our thoughts, because a lot of it is up here in our heads. So we should challenge our thoughts,
it's
right? And look
inner
at
voice. Change what your inner voice saying to you.
That's right. And look at where
Kind
you
to
were
yourself.
and where you've become. And,
Yeah.
when all else fails, just drink a glass of wine.
Play that hype music.
Oh, yeah, play the hype music.
My gangster rap.
Oh, God.
Loud. loud.
Oh,
I'm a
ladies.
big deal.
Well, thank you for joining us for another entertaining episode of Sister Friends. And always remember to follow us on Instagram, Sister Friends Podcast, Twitter, Insta Friends Podcast, Facebook, Sister Friends Podcast. And you can see our video on YouTube, but you can also listen on Apple, Spotify, Podbean, and also Amazon. Okay, darlings, thank you very much for entertaining our audiences and me. And I hopefully we imparted some knowledge today.
No problem, hon.
Absolutely.
All right, cheers.
Spread love.
Bye-bye.